Namaste. What does Namaste mean? Namaste means the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. The divine in me bows to the divine in you. Now, this concept, of course, it's become extremely popular during the COVID times when we can't really shake hands. But this Namaste, the actual meaning of this term and what it signifies should be imbibed from the very childhood. Now for that, I'd like to take the simile of the well. You have a well behind me. Now, we all recognize that wells may be of different, appearances. Now, the other day I saw a well that looks like a pot and I thought it was just a pot, but then I realized it's actually a well and there's water deep down. Now, this is the decorative pot that I was talking about. The well that I was talking about. Now, what is this? What does that look like to you? Only a closer look reveals that it's actually a well. You may just think it's a hole, but it would end up to be actually a well with sweet water in it. That is the essence of humanity as well. We are all the same. Just like this groundwater is the same, or it's connected throughout. In the same way, we are connected to the divine element. Imagine a world where everybody understands you and they always behave the way you wanted them to behave. They do exactly what you expect them to do. You never have a reason for argument. You never have a moment of frustration. Well, I personally think where you have only one emotion, you would be terribly bored. So we don't know why the creation is as it is, why there is so much of variety, but we do know that without this variety, there would certainly be boredom. So when you look at somebody's differences, let's say if you look at people of a different belief system or different cultural practices, the question should never arise that is that other person worthy of respect? The other person, however he or she appears or whatever he or she practices, whichever gender the other person is, whatever culture, the person essentially is the well of divinity and he or she is worthy of respect, and the differences exist to make life more beautiful. Now here comes the question, what about people who do a lot of wrong things? How can we respect them and how can we not chastise them? How can we not dislike them or hate them? Well, it's a natural emotion to feel a dislike for someone, to hate someone. As someone the other day wrote in the comments in one of my videos, that hate is a natural emotion like love, and you cannot really love someone if you haven't experienced hate as well. So that's totally okay. You can always chastise the flesh that works against the spirit. You can always chastise the flesh. But then at the same time, you should not forget that the other person is the well of divinity. And whatever the external appearance is like, or whatever the person has led himself into, you may despise the acts, but essentially you should never forget that inside resides the divine. And when we look at another person, that is the first thing that should come to our mind. The first thought, said or unsaid, should be Namaste. Whether or not you use this greeting as a normal part of life, just don't forget that that person is a well of divinity. Give the person that respect. The next time you are confused about what are the words to choose while speaking to another person, just remember this word in your heart, Namaste. The divine in me recognizes the divine in you, and then decide whether you would continue saying what you intended to say. Namaste.